While many pro-choice people see abortion as a necessary evil, Satanists see it as much more than that. That's because they use it as a sacrifice to Satan. They might not say it publicly, but Zachary is a former Satanist and he exposes the truth behind satanic abortion.
When I was 14 years old, it was announced that we were going to, all the male members, 12 to 15, were going to sleep with a female member that was 19. And this was her second pregnancy. And she was what's called a breeder. And a breeder intentionally gets pregnant so she can have an abortion. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And then I went home to look up abortion because I didn't know what it was. I knew that my parents one time whispered the word. So I knew it was a dirty word, but I didn't know anything about it. And my dictionary at home was so old, it didn't have the word abortion in it. So I went to the library and found 2 books, both of them 2 inches thick. And I'm not reading 300 pages to find out what an abortion is. So I go back to my coven and ask them, hey, I've got to commit an abortion in 9 months. What's that? And he goes, oh, you're killing a baby. I was like, is that legal? He goes, in the womb, legal. Out of the womb, murder.
So Satanists consider this a baby.
Yes.
And why do they do it so much?
Well, our coven did, we have everything from the simplest of spells all the way up to the most complex spell, which is a hex. And in a hex, if you're going to do a hex, you need to do an abortion with it. If you're going to do something that somebody's willing to pay big money for, you need guaranteed success. So to guarantee your success, you've got to give the devil something he wants. You give the devil something he wants, he grants your request. What he wants is the murder of a baby. So you murder a baby, do it for the devil grants your request, your act is successful.
And this is what we see in ancient cultures with child sacrifices. They would sacrifice their children to have the favor of the gods or whatever favor they wanted. They would do that. And now they do the same thing, but they package it as something that it's not a baby, but it's exactly the same practice that they used to do, right?
It would have been back in ancient times, Baal or Moloch was who they would sacrifice to. And now, I never understood. My dad used to say that people talked out of both sides of their mouth. And I never understood what that meant until 2015, the 15 secret David Daleiden videos came out about Planned Parenthood. And out of one side of their mouth, they say it's a lump of cells, is just some tissue. And out of the other side of their mouth, they're saying we're selling baby body parts. How do you get baby body parts out of a lump of cells?
Right.
How do you get a brain, a heart, lungs, kidneys, spleen, liver? How do you get those things out of a lump of cells? Don't you need a baby to get baby body parts?
And it checks out.
And so you got one side of their mouth going, it's not really a baby. And out of the other side of their baby, we're getting rich selling baby body parts. And it's like, really? Somewhere there's a disconnect because you're admitting that you're selling baby body parts.
Yeah. So we started talking about this because you did your first abortion at 14 or 15 around that time, because you talked about they had this party and then you were going to abort the baby. It was planned. This lady, you called her a breeder, the 19-year-old. She wanted to do that for whatever spell they were going to do. What was your role as the mage?
They originally told me that it was just a lump of cells. If they're just going to scrape out some cells, they're going to vacuum it up with a little vacuum tube, and I'm not going to see anything. But that I needed, for me to do the hex, I needed to get blood on my hands. So it would probably be the mother's blood, and you're not there to hurt the mother. Just get some of her blood and put it on your hands. Then go do your X. Okay. And so they had me practice, though, with a scalpel and an apple or an orange or a ball of Play-Doh, and practice stabbing each one of these things. And that'll be this lump of cells that you stab. And, just getting blood on your hand. So don't worry about it. It'll be simple. And so that's what I did for 9 months. I went and participated in the orgy with everybody else. And, she was telling me that this was her second pregnancy. And I was like, what's the goal here? And she said, we have as many abortions as our body can handle. And the more abortions we can do, the higher position we get in the end. And that's what it's all about, is power and money. And if she can have 15 abortions, she'll be on top of the world.
And that's why they fight so hard for it. Some people probably are listening to this and they don't believe it. But there was this story a few years ago. I know that you're aware of it. This satanic church that I think they filed a lawsuit saying that abortion was their religious right.
That's the Satanic Temple. And that was, I think, in Minnesota. They have opened their own abortion clinic in New Mexico. So it's like the Samuel Alito abortion clinic or something like that. Named after, I don't know if it's named after him or his mother, but they're saying his mother should have aborted him, and then Roe versus Wade would not have been overturned.